Let me start with a question. How many times on the web have you come across a banner ad or a video that absolutely resonates with you? And you would have felt, wow, that is absolutely relevant to me. Now, you might have also gone on to e-commerce portal like Amazon or Flipkart, and you see a list of products that you might be interested in. Now, compare this to getting an unsolicited phone call or even an email that comes from a company which tries to sell you a set of products or services which is of no relevance. Does it make sense to you at all? Now, which of these two would you really appreciate? Obviously the first one, right? Because we as customers often tend to connect with companies or brands that show some sort of interest and connectivity with you. And at the end of the day, the good association with the brand is all about the kind of experience that you receive from that brand. Now, that is more inclined to a brand that gives you a highly personalized experience. Talking of personalized experiences, it's very important for us to really understand that do we know what personalization means at its depth? Imagine you're on a beach and you're looking at a big set of waves coming towards you. And you're ready for it. It comes, it hits you, it goes back. There is no surprise there. Now, what really takes you aback is the second set of waves that follows it, which you were not ready for. Similar is the case of personalization. To give you that kind of an experience, companies need to have access to a lot of data about you. When I say data, they need to understand your preferences, your browsing patterns, what you do, how much time you spend on social media, where you hang out, and so on. Now, we need to really understand how much of this personalization, where does it stand? Now, up to what level do we call it personalization, and when does it start becoming creepy? The thing that we need to really take notice of here is technology as such is going to benefit a lot, especially in the world of business. Having said that, what technology actually does in business is it helps you improve productivity, offer better customer experiences, and for me as a marketer, what I can tell you for sure is AI as such is coming big time into this, and it is helping you focus on the right customers at the right time with the right product, without you having to cast a broad net and say, I'll talk to 10,000 people and see what converts. Instead, you can save time and you know which of these customers exhibit high buying intent and which of these people are the right fit to your product based on the information that we are able to access about them. But that presses an important question. All of us tend to ask this. Everywhere I get this question. Will we lose a lot of jobs? At the outset, I'm inclined to say yes, but what kind of jobs may we lose? One, it could be the repetitive ones, the mundane ones, the ones probably that are not safe for humanity, like working in coal mines and so on. In fact, research firms such as Gartner, they tell you that about 1.8 million jobs can be lost to AI or machines by 2020. At the same time, the good news is that about 2.3 million new jobs are going to be created. How is that possible? Let's see. For a long time, we have been associating AI with automation. We confuse these two. AI is more to do with the intelligence that propels automation and execution, and not necessarily execution itself. Recent researches tell you that almost about 60% of the companies are right now redesigning their processes to incorporate AI and robotics. That directly tells you that humanity and AI are not competing each other, but are going to be complementing with each other. And if you look at it, some of the major economies have really flourished based on the way they have invested in technologies such as AI, blockchain, robotics, and more. For example, countries like China and Japan, the amount of investments that they have made, they have become major forces in the global economy. Especially if you look at China. What has happened is In the recent times, some of the reports from Accenture suggest that about 1.6 percentage points would be added to its impact on the GDP of the country. What are the three areas where AI is really contributing to achieve that? The first one is intelligent automation. When I say intelligent automation, this is about really scaling up the processes that are mundane and making sure that these really spread quickly without a lot of investment. The second area is about labor augmentation. Now again, this is where humanity and machines are going to absolutely work together. The way they're going to complement and synergize is that AI is going to aid and add to the natural intelligence so that people can execute better. And the third and most important thing is idea diffusion, and which is also called innovation diffusion. What happens is AI will be able to focus and identify which of the ideas that will spread, including the why, how, and what, and which of the ideas that are going to really work for you. Now, having said that, why do we often look at technologies like these as a threat, despite the kind of advantages that they offer to you? Probably survival instinct? Well, you can say that. Imagine this. Say you are in a forest. A little flurry of leaves and a flutter of birds are probably signs of danger. The actual danger that worries us is not the danger, but the uncertainty that comes along with this danger. The moment we realize the what-ifs of this danger, we feel we are back in control. So, the thought process here is, should we really go ahead and restrict technology, or should we actually go ahead and embrace it and see if there are ways to control it, and if there are ways to embrace and take it forward? Now, why do I say this? Imagine, why are we even going to have technologies if not for humans? If technology is all set to replace humanity, who are these technologies for? Right? So, the point is, as of now, all the laws that we have in the world are focused on humanity alone. Automation was never taken into consideration. Now, all of a sudden, we are seeing that AI is creating its own program languages, AI is certainly creating its own IPs, and that creates a lot of uncertainty. What if we could go ahead and regulate the amount of data access that the machines are going to have? What if we could really control what AI can do, cannot do, what it should do and should not do? In fact, to an extent, this has already begun, and especially this happens in the European Union. This is something called GDPR that started from yesterday. It is called the General Data Protection Regulation. This means customers as such have to give permission for companies to be able to market to them. This means they have to give you the permission to have what kind of information that you're going to hold about me, and this also ensures that the companies cannot have any information that is strictly not business. The beauty of it is that as customers, you can always go back to the company and say, you don't have to have my information anymore, please go ahead and delete it. Now, companies that are not going to adhere to this compliance are likely to be fined to up to 4% of their annual revenue. This is not applicable for only companies in the EU, but it is going to be applicable for companies across the globe, as long as they're going to have at least one customer in Europe. And to top it all, there are a lot of Indian companies, there are a lot of US companies that are embracing it. So, have we seen this? Does this sound familiar? Are we really looking at the technology as threat? Are we really resisting it? Because let's just go ahead and think back. We came through the Industrial Revolution, and a lot of new motors and a lot of new machines came up. Of course, we lost quite a bit of jobs, but it also created newer jobs. Then came the dot-com bust, the internet era, and a lot of e-commerce sites came up. We thought e-commerce is going to replace retail, but they started to coexist. Similar is going to be the case with artificial intelligence, the moment we learn what is it that we need to control, and the moment we learn how we can coexist and how we can complement each other. In short, the point is we are looking forward and we should be having the intelligence to know how to control and not resist these technologies. Let's not go ahead and trade the possibilities for the probabilities. Let's take charge. Thank you.